Good evening to everyone and welcome tonight to the update, day number 141. Here we are, and major day today. To be quite honest, very, very difficult day. I've been rolling all day. I had to speak at a funeral today, and during that time, my phone was just blowing up because I'm a part of all these different groups and ways we communicate with Ukraine. And I said, what is going on? And of course, I couldn't look at my phone. I was speaking at the funeral, and then we had the funeral lunch, and it was for an American veteran, 91 years old, passed away, veteran of the Korean War. So it was an honor to pay tribute to his life. But my phone kept going crazy. And then finally, once I was able, I saw that today was a very difficult day in Ukraine. So with that said, we're going to jump right in. 9:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6:04 in California, 4:04 a.m. in Ukraine. Thank you for being here tonight. Day 141. Title of the program today is Vinnytsia and Mykolaiv Massive Strikes. And that's where we're going to go. And I'm thankful tonight. Got my buddy here. So welcome to you, brother.
Good evening, friends.
Good evening. I'll go ahead and say your hello, whatever, and we're going to jump right in because I'm a little frustrated today.
Yeah, it is still not easy time after all of that day, the long day with updates, regular updates of people continuing dying and in Vinnytsia, and I mean just because of that strike, they're looking and in the process of they finding regularly new dead bodies, and
Yes.
the number is increasing regularly, so that is sad.
There are only a couple of people I follow regularly, apart from the communication that I'm constantly in with Ukraine, and of course you being the key, as well as others that I'm in connection with, going even back to Mariupol and getting information from Volin himself. But the one guy that I do follow, he put out his evening update from Ukraine, and typically his updates are about 20 minutes long. His update tonight was 2 minutes and 14 seconds. And his name is Denise, and he's actually an airline pilot for in Ukraine, but not flying now, and just trying to tell the world the truth. Really good guy. In fact, I want to try to collaborate with him. I'm sure we can make that happen. But he came on and he said, I don't feel like talking today. I don't feel like showing you a map. I'm going to bed. Here's the update. And it was like 90 seconds. He told everybody thank you, and that was it. I'm about in the same location because, unfortunately, you know, when we think about cities that are way over in the east, and we say way over, it's not that far, and they're being struck, they're on the front lines, but Vinnytsia is not on the front line. It's in western Ukraine.
Yes.
And I'm just going to let you talk, man, but, you know, I'm so discombobulated. I got my stuff out of order. Hold on. We talked about early this week that this week was going to be different. We felt it. We had the rumblings from Putin. We had the responses from Ukraine with Nova Kakhovka. Lots of, you know, direct statements being made. And then we're really seeing what we thought would happen, and we hate to see it, but we felt that Ukraine was going to have some serious responses, and Russia was going to have some serious terrorist activity and provocations. And here we are, Thursday night in the United States, Friday morning in Ukraine, and unfortunately, this is what we have. So I'm going to start. I'm going to get us to Vinnytsia, and Bud, I want you to tell the story. First thing I want to say is this. This is Dmitry Kuleba. And just in case the world missed it, Dmitry Kuleba came out. Ukrainian Minister of Foreign Affairs confirms yesterday afternoon, there are no peace negotiations going on in process, nor are any planned. So, in case you guys were out here and you were wondering, are they having any negotiations? There's the direct answer from Kaleba. No, they've had some negotiations, lower level people in regard to grain, and we'll see more about that in the coming days. But as far as the war, no, there's no negotiations. This is full-fledged war. So, Zhenya, that brings me to here. Vinnytsia. First thing I want to do for people is I want to show them. I want to show them on the map. I'm completely discombobulated tonight. This one bugged me big time. They all do, but this is horrible. Just so people know, once again, we're always updating. There's Lugansk. There's Donetsk. Cities that you know and aware of. We're going to come back to Mykolaiv in a moment. Ukraine made the big strike down here in Novokakhovka. This is Crimea that was stolen. A lot of the hot war. Here's Kharkiv, Nikolayev, Kherson, and this whole region's hot. So where, in case you don't know, where is Vinnytsia? Well, Vinnytsia's right here. Kyiv is here, and it's Zhenya sitting right here. That's our city. That's our region. That's our base from where we do all the work. And, you know, if you need to get there quickly, Vinnytsia's an hour. Maybe a little bit more, but not much. You can cook it there really quick. It's not far at all. So today, Zhenya, missile struck Vinnytsia. Can you tell the folks what happened? The numbers I have right now are 30 dead, unless it changed in the last few minutes, 52 hospitalized, 55 buildings damaged, and 46 people still missing. So, all yours.
Yes, it was the day, nobody expected, let's say, in real. So it was a city where, which was not bombed like there, like Kharkiv or Nikolayev. So people were living were trying to live like a normal life, at least between getting news how much people Russia killed that day in other places. So so people were visiting the private hospital in the downtown, and some people were working, having time with kids. This one mama was taking her 3-year girl to special lessons for people, let's say, with special need. And
yeah, I think she had a little bit of Down syndrome.
Yes, yeah. She had. And it seems to me her name was Lisa.
Yes.
And people were living, trying to live the normal life in a part of the country having a war. And as I know, 7 missiles were sent to Vinnytsia, and as I know, 4 were shooting down, the 3 targeted the exact place where it was. They had a plan. It was an absolutely peaceful place with any military points, military buildings or any other. It's like it was civilians. It was an office building. It was a private clinic. It was a concert hall, let's say, and so right on the parking, people were burned and killed, and it was terrible. I would say I couldn't believe I got the call. My friend called me, said, "Zhenya, do you know what's going on in the Vinnytsia?" I said, "No, sorry." I said, "Man, check the news," and so I started to check, and this is reality. The people and the other people, like doctors fighting for their lives, and I want to add this. I cannot miss it. When Ukrainians started to share what's going on in Vinnytsia, that kids were killed and people were killed. Real Russian people, not like bots, were posting. Let's say they were just continuing what Putin was saying. Hey, it's not enough. Oh, it's a good day for Russia. We killed like much more, much more like fascist. Or please understand, like it's on Ukrainian territory, and people in other territory are happy that the girl with Down syndrome are killed, and they're happy. They said our army is the best, and all of that. The question is, why this country is still like having diplomatic relationship with others.
Yeah, and not only that, it's even on a day when the United States come out and said that on some of the sanctions they were going to have to do some adjustments. That's from the United States today. On the economic side, it's ridiculous. I'll show something else in a moment. Everything really tonight, we don't really feel like talking and joking tonight. So Russia came out and said that this building here was their target and that was a military center. Now, that right there, I want you to explain to everybody, that is a classic building that is in most cities. In fact, the one in Khmelnytsky is beside the train station. It looks exactly the same, back from the Soviet times. As far as this location, I myself have been here many times because there's an airplane statue that's very memorable. It's painted blue and yellow for Ukrainian colors. So if you have been in downtown Vinnytsia, you would have been on this very location multiple times. So this very memorable. This one hits close to home. Children being killed. I have so many videos, and I will not show them. I am going to show one little clip so people can just see the area we're talking about and understand. I'll do that in a moment. But this area is cultural now. It's not military. There's a concert hall. There were people in cafes. There were many mothers pushing strollers. This was as far from a military target as you can possibly get. I mean, it's not even close. So, Zhenya, educate people tonight about that building, the concert hall, and also let's go ahead and tell folks there probably was some help from somebody.
Okay, I will tell you this. You can check it on. It's easy to check. The concert was planned. They did have a concert, so the posters for that concert and the tickets were in sale. And this concert was for support of Ukrainian army. It was a Ukrainian singer. She was trying to raise up some money for supporting Ukrainian army and their families. So this was the building. Like this was what for they were using the building, and it's easy to track it. It's years. You could just put the address or the name in the Vinnytsia and check how many singers were visiting that.
You do not have to be the KGB or the KGB to understand this is a public hall. Yeah.
So after that, reading some comments of Russian supporters of fascism and Nazism and whatever, and this terror, then they say, hey, all of that, it's just a drama. There were no there were not any that kids, all of that, they just don't believe them. This all of this is just a fake reality that the Russian army killed Ukrainian soldiers, bad guys, blah blah blah. So this is reality. Like I mean, I would wish, I don't know.
Let me ask you this: the little
To continue, let's say it's just terrible reality. It's
yes,
like
it's this
unacceptable,
is
terrible reality for the whole world.
and you know what's terrible? It's not the front page news anywhere. I was looking. You have to go to the secondary page or the Ukraine war page. But man, this should be the front page for the world. Period. This little girl, and there were other little kids, but this one's famous because the mom actually had a video of her and the little girl walking down the sidewalk. Now, I'm going to show this. This is not when the missile struck. This was this morning, though, when they were walking, and she was just talking to her little girl. A few seconds of that, and then I'll show you. I know this little girl was killed. The mother, I just saw conflicting reports that either she's passed away or they're waiting for confirmation on it, but she had lost her leg. It was a missile. And it said earlier she was in surgery or being cared for. But just minutes ago, it says that she's lost her life. So
It's a question. When some drunk guy are driving into the crowd and hurting some people, every news channel are posting this terrible news. And when one of the biggest country of the world are using their international relationship, the money the country is getting through their international business with the biggest country, the other biggest country of the world, using their army in other closest territory of their, like, not their inside country but the other country, massively, regularly killing civilians, not just one or two, but it's hundreds, it's every day. Why it should be ignored? If not, they're buying some owners of that media, or the politics, or deputies, or businesses, or what's the reason to hide that?
let
Is
me
it to block?
let me validate what I'm saying, and then I'm going to play the video clip. There's not much we can say. It's terrible. Here is BBC News. So we've got Italy. Draghi's resigning. They've got a disaster. Biden's in Israel. Can't even make a complete sentence. And I mean, literally, and I'm sorry, but can't. Kevin Spacey, Canada. Here, attack on Ukraine city far from front line kills 23. That's Vinnytsia, far from front line, but of course, they don't even know the number. Fox, Ivana Trump, I'm sorry, and that's sad. We've got How Dare You, Refunding the Police, Parents' Nightmare, Playing the Field, AOC, Super Bowl. Yeah, there's not even a Ukraine tab up here anymore. I'm looking. I mean, folks, I'm showing you my desktop. CNN, Secret Service, Trump, interest rate hike, nothing on the right. Elon Musk, here we go. Ukraine's new rockets causing fresh problems for Russia. Thank you. And there's the attack. So CNN, decent. It's right there. Newsmax, Texas suing Biden. And then right here, right in the middle. So great. Front page. And even Al Jazeera, top right, smaller. Sri Lanka's the main story. The point being, this is one of those events, in my opinion, that should have the big picture. It's just my opinion. When you have this type of event going on. So with that said, now listen, folks, I'll give you a disclaimer. You do not see the missile strike. You do not see this little girl get killed. You will see the little girl that has lost her life. And this is just Vinnytsia a few hours ago.
If
The olive?
This is the mom and the little girl. This is right after the attack. There's the airplane I'm referring to, the Ukrainian flag. If you've been in Vinnytsia, you know this spot.
on the background you can see the what is left out after the private, I mean from the private clinic. Every 100% of people who got in that clinic, I mean to that clinic to get help, medical help, died, including the medical stuff. So the question is, sorry, the question, so any person, you know, coming back to front pages of the biggest news channels, the question, if the news is really big and it's everywhere, people are starting to ask the question, okay, what can we do? How did we react? What our country is doing for that? And how do we involve? What's going on? And to not to have so much pictures, that surely should be some notice about that, but surely not too much, not to attract too much attention to this news. This is the only thing I believe, the only reason why it's not everywhere, because like, I mean, for world will not feel what's going on, how much death Russia brings, how much death people and I mean country allows to, I mean, to be happen in Ukraine, to continue that fight, continue that massive killing of people on Ukrainian territory, not German territory, not Russian or Canadian or Japan territory, it's Ukraine territory. So the best thing, okay, probably people could share what's going on, share, that's probably tell the truth, ask, I mean, I don't know, like what we can do, okay, yeah, I did share this, I did post, you know, on my pages, hey, please, people share it, don't be quiet, that's not the time, you know, and to be honest, like today I have checked, you know, my friends list, and on one of the, so I'm not a like person who's sitting in the social net, so I did check Ukrainians, so and the people who are not like, I mean, I don't want to have friends who are not like sharing what's going on in the country, or like, I mean, or posting things like from other country, like nothing is happening. Yes, and surely I hate to see how people like knowing what's going on, sharing. I mean, yes, only thing like, I mean, a cup of wine or something, they enjoying their life, and I mean, and they know the truth. I understand when the people don't know the truth, but knowing and ignoring, I don't want to have anything, I mean, with that person. Sorry for that. So
Let me
please
listen. I mean, this is our program tonight. Neither one of us feel like talking about this stuff tonight. It's terrible, you know. And then I go here and I've translated this because usually, you know, it's in Russian. But this is TASS. Sorry, I'm off my game tonight. as we both are right there. I went ahead and translated this, but United States withdrawals from sanctions. This is what I was talking about in regard to agriculture, medicine, and energy. And this is the top story on TASS.ru, and it talks about how the U.S. has pulled out of some of the sanctions. So, of course, that gives Russian people reading this going, okay, you see, this is just the big game. And it's not a game when it comes to these missiles that are hitting. Now, in addition to that, a couple of last things, because this is the story today. But Alexei Arestovich came out and he said, well, you can say it. He said, okay, it's like gloves off now. I mean, you understand that one, gloves off?
Mm-hmm.
The fight's getting serious. I hate to be prophetic in this one, but people that watch, that are here each night, they know it was either Sunday night or Monday night. We called it, and we just had this feeling, and here we are. And Alexei Arestovich, he says, okay. Well, I mean, the response is coming, which means the war just gets hotter and hotter and hotter. The last thing that I want to say for tonight, I don't want to minimize as well the city of Nikolayev. Today as well, Nikolayev was pounded. Education center, business center, school. In fact, I can show, this is, you don't see people here, but this was the 5 a.m. strike this morning in Mykolaiv. And usually I tell folks, it's like right now, folks, while you're watching this stream, this is a lot of the hot window. And that's what was so surprising as well about Vinnytsia. It was not that early morning. It was, later in the morning. But this is what people woke up to in Mykolaiv today. 5 a.m. Just wait. That's enough.
It happens every day. It happens every day. And if there is a Russian outside of Russia and they are quite aware that they are not at this moment watching zombie news with a blocked website outside of Russia, they can see what's going on.
Yes.
They can. The best thing they can do to save their own, at least some future, for their the nation, it's to stop that aggression, tell people truth, because the truth will bring the new freedom, real one.
Well, that is why we're here.
Consequences, first time, with a hard price, big price in the beginning, it will its only option to have a future like a Russian future, because for this Russia there is no future. Sorry,
well, you're right.
Should be future for this Russia, and should not be future for any political party who supports it. It doesn't matter what country. Should not be future for any business who supports it somehow, or at least pretend that nothing is happening. Should not be future for that. Should not be for anyone who ignores it. Should not be future for as a politic or as a business or any influencer.
We come to the place tonight where it's the same thing. In America, we say a period, but in Europe, it's a full stop. I don't know why the world doesn't get it. This is not rocket science. You need a full stop, and that means the world needs to full stop on Russia to end this war. Not only economically, militarily, socially, truth-wise, every front we can have. Because if not, these are the things, and these are the difficult days. And that's where we're at. Now, with that said, Zhenya, I want to leave us with this tonight, because I think this is what we need to pay tribute to. I want to remind people, do not forget the faces of war. This is Yuri and Dmitry Stasovsky. And I'm going to tell you the story, and then I'm going to play one last clip, and we'll say good night for tonight, and we'll see you in 23 hours. But Yuri's the dad, Dmitry's the son. They were fighting the battle together, supporting their homeland. And unfortunately, Dmitry had to carry Yuri off the battlefield, killed in action. This is the reality that thousands and thousands and thousands of Ukrainians are facing, as you have in some places, Jane, you've got son, father, and grandfather, 3 generations, because fighting for the homeland. And here's a couple of smiles. Very difficult day, but this is a really nice clip, because there will be an after the war, and we will win this war. Here's a couple of Ukrainian soldiers tonight. Hopefully put a little smile on your face.
Я буду і далі служити, намагатись якось передати свій досвід.
Додому поїду, побачити своїх рідних.
Буду сам. Чесно.
Додому треба. Жінку побачити, дітей. Возьму сім'ю і поїду на море.
Прийду, женюся. Кандидатка є, давно очікує.
Поїду до своїх діток і їх сильно обійму.
Буду довго-довго празднувати.
And that's the real story. That's the guys that are defending. Proud of them. We stand with them.
Together, it says together to victory.
Yes.
And I would say, let's stand together for victory.
Amen.
The unity, how we call it, black and white. Unity staying against of aggression. Unity staying together, the nations who staying together against of genocide.
Correct.
Against of threatening world by nuclear weapon. Unity in that. And this is the time. There will not be better time. It's most needed when we need that unity.
Couldn't agree more, bud. Well, on a tough night, we're still here, and we will continue to be here. It just makes me want to get there even quicker, to be honest with you, just to share the love. So, we stand together. All right, folks, we will see you in 23 hours. This one was tough. To all a good night. No, a good night to all.
Good night to all.
To all,
To all a good night.
Thank you, sir. You know English better than I do. Good night.